Good afternoon and welcome to Small Talk Arkansas. Today is Therapy Thursday. It is Thursday, April the 30th. This is episode 24. I'm your host, Jason Martin.
And I'm Tessa Wilmans.
We are coming to you live today from our Corona-cation kitchen table studio. Live at our airing time of 4 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. We bring you new episodes every day.
We do.
Thursdays are always Therapy Thursday.
They are, because we could use it.
We need lots of therapy for Rizzle.
We do. Hey, if you're not already a subscriber to Small Talk Arkansas, what are you doing with your life?
What's wrong with you?
You need to call your therapist. And,
we love those that watch.
Yes, we
do. We really prefer those that subscribe and watch.
Yeah, we do.
Helps us out tremendously.
Yeah, we like our subscribers a little bit more. Just saying.
A lot more.
We probably shouldn't say that on Therapy Thursday.
So go over to the YouTube, subscribe to the channel.
Like
the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, like this video. Leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Share the channel with your friends.
Do it.
Share the video with your friends.
Hey, that is a way you can connect to people right now.
Right now
During these challenging times.
Everybody needs a little therapy. We bring you a Therapy Thursday every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Time.
We do. Who's our therapist of the day?
Today we've got Jenny Caldwell. Jenny's on. Jenny's a regular on the show,
She is.
Lots of folks just love her to death. Love her takes on what's going on right now and how she might be able to bring a little sanity to you through these episodes.
Yes,
so we do this
to us
regularly. Yeah, definitely for us. That's the main reason why we do Therapy Thursdays. Jenny Caldwell is a licensed certified social worker. Jenny focuses her work on adults and sometimes teens, primarily in areas of grief, depression, anxiety, women's issues, and divorce. She particularly enjoys helping with complex challenges that blended families and co-parenting individuals face. Additionally, Jenny has extensive experience providing adoption home studies for families, judges, and attorneys in Central Arkansas. Jenny is a mom and a therapist in that order. So when she isn't helping clients, she can be found spending time with her family or chasing after the family dogs.
Oh my gosh, Jason.
What's up?
I think that's the sound of our special guest.
That's the sound of us getting therapy on Thursday.
It is. We need it.
God, we need some help. Jenny, are you there?
I'm here.
Woo! It's been a long week since therapy last week. And of course, we haven't had you on for 2 weeks. So I feel like, phew.
I know. I'm so glad you're here, Jenny.
Need some therapy.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm always glad to be with you guys.
Well, thanks for making the time today. I know
Yes.
that you have a very busy practice and you're staying extremely busy and thin during this time period. But thanks for helping all of our listeners out.
Yes, we appreciate you being here.
Of course, I love it.
So, we're still in Corona-cation. This is day 742, I think. I don't know. Maybe I lost count somewhere in there.
It feels like it for sure.
Definitely does. I think there's some folks going stir crazy and whatever. But, this has affected us all equally, both men and women across the board. But how do you see right now, how are men and women handling this coronavirus outbreak, the pandemic, and everything that plays along with it? How are we handling that different between the sexes?
My men clients, the male clients and the men I know in my life tend to be looking at it from a business standpoint. Like, here are the facts. I understand this, but we've got to get back to work. Or we're worried about taking care of our families. Or what will the economy look like? What will my business look like? Yet trying to balance what's going on at home with their wives and their kids. And so, again, it seems to be like the men are in problem-solving mode, if that makes sense. Trying to balance it all. Just matter of fact. Like, here's what we need to do. But looking at the numbers as well. And I think there's uncertainty. But I see a lot of my men clients are just pretty calm about it and just matter of fact. And it is what it is, and we'll figure this out as we go. I see lots and lots of anxiety. Lots of people, but my women clients tend to be little more anxious right now.
Okay. So do you think, is that pretty common split to, is that just this pandemic, or is that pretty common to how you see men and women differing in most situations?
You are spot on. I see that's how men and women often approach situations in general, right? What are the facts? Women tend to be more emotional, and men tend to be more, what are the facts? That's
that goes back to, what is it? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus, or something like that.
Yes,
the differences of how we think and how can we communicate, and how can we all get on the same page?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There are communication issues right there. How do we come to the middle, guys?
That is the truth.
It is.
It is true. Oh, well. So a lot of people, regardless of sex or gender, what have you, are experiencing anxiety when we have to go out in public. I feel like we both have experienced that. Being around all these random people at the grocery store and, other places where social distancing is kind of merely a suggestion and not really being super observed is stressful. It's unsettling.
Mm-hmm. We went to Whole Foods this weekend. Perfect example. And I mean, I have been getting a little, I've been getting anxious in places, and I'll go, okay, well, we went here and we went there and I can't go anywhere else. I'm done. I have to go home.
Yeah.
Can't do this anymore. But, we went to Whole Foods, and a perfect example, if you've been to the Whole Foods out here in West Little Rock, you get your cart and you immediately roll into the store. And you're in the produce section. And I swear there were 35 people.
There were so many people.
Produce section, and it's like nobody's really moving. They're kind of just waiting for someone to exit the produce section so they can move to the next group and the next group. And then you've got other folks that just don't care. I mean, they're reaching over you for this tomato or reaching around you for that onion. And I tell you what, I mean, just walking into the store and that going on. And I'm not a germaphobe, but in any way, shape, or form, and I don't mind close proximity, but I'm freaking them, out. I'm about to go.
Yeah, like right now, it's just unsettling. Like, if you hear somebody talk about ants or something, and then you get itchy, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, there are people everywhere, and I find myself, and this is stupid, but I find myself holding my breath and kind of freezing. I'm like, what do I do?
I find myself wanting to get out of there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I've got to get out of here. There are too many people. Mm-hmm. I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Kroger in Maumelle. We have Kroger. And so, again, I went yesterday to grab a few things, and it still looked like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I say that every week that I'm on here.
I know. It's true,
it's
though.
Packed out.
That's the way Whole Foods was.
I mean, I know. And just think, we're about to open back up potentially. Mm-hmm. And how do we manage that?
That is true.
So
how can we maintain it?
Obviously you have to have groceries. I mean, we all, we're all eating at home. We're hopefully eating more at home and hopefully, well, I don't think we're eating less, but we probably should eat less and eat better. A little less drive through and a little more salad at the house, whatever that might look like. But
we're attempting.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, so we have to go to the grocery store. So, how do we deal with this? I mean, that I don't think it's helped. The grocery store is like, well, we're shut down all of these hours every day so that we can clean the stores. I don't honestly, I've been in lots of times. I don't see, I'm not there overnight, obviously, but I don't see a lot of extra cleaning going on in these stores than what happened before. No. So, wouldn't it help? Wouldn't it benefit us for the stores to be open longer hours right now so there's fewer people in there at a freaking time?
Yes, because they're condensing all the people into shorter hours.
It makes sense to me.
So what do you do? I mean, obviously we said, hey, we just want to get the heck out of that store. But, you still have to have groceries. You still have to deal with this right now. How do you...
Yeah. We still have to get everything we need in our basket. Like, how do we maintain our cool in there?
Because I want to punch some people.
Okay, Tess. So I don't know how you guys shop. Lots of people like to go in and they just like to look around and, especially at Target, right? Mm-hmm. Target tells me what I need. Yeah. I'm not that girl. I am not that girl. Time is money. and I have my list, and I need to get in and get out because I've got other things.
So you shop like a guy.
I do. I know what I want. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to get out.
You're on a mission.
Absolutely. I am. And I think it's just because I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is the time that we don't just walk around Kroger or walk around Whole Foods to see what speaks to you. Figure out what you need. Make a list. Get in and get out.
Yes.
I mean, I think that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't change how I have to deal with the stupid people, because I do know what I'm going in to get, but I can't get around all of these looky-loos. These folks that want to touch 52 tomatoes before they put one in a bag.
But the thing is, you can't confront every looky-loo, right?
I want to knock them out.
I know you do.
I want to leave. I just want to leave bodies laying everywhere, and that way I can get my stuff and get out of the store.
And then
because
here I
came prepared.
Yeah, and I'm like polite, like standing back behind. I'm like, okay, you go get your tomatoes and you touch all of them. It's fine. I'll just wait back here. It's okay. It's okay.
And I'm the one that wants to grab the tomato because you've been standing there too long, so I can get out of there.
I want a Nancy Kerrigan them. I just want to bring out my baton and just start busting them in the kneecaps.
But that's what works for, look, the three of us have very different approaches, clearly. So again, what works for one doesn't work for another. So it comes down to some grace and some kindness when we don't feel like being kind.
Yep.
I mean, I tell my girlfriends all the time when they're stressed out, this is when you lean in, right? The things that are hard, you lean in. So when it's hard at the grocery store, this is when you give a little more kindness and a little more grace.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's hard because some people aren't stressed out. Some people are scared to death. Some people are impatient. And there's not a rule. I mean, there's just not.
Mm-hmm.
It's put on your mask if you want to put on your mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stay 6 feet away unless you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's kindness and grace. But I think we try to get in, use our basic manners, excuse me, please.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds really stupid, but it's basic kindness right now.
So it's basically, I guess what, it is, some people believe this is going to kill us all. Some people believe that it's going to come and go. And some people think that it's no big deal. And yet we're all human and we're all interacting in the same places together, but we all have very real feelings about what's going on. And they could be very, very different ends of the spectrum, what we believe.
Right. And we're all freaked out and we're all handling it differently. I mean, there's not a manual that says, here's how you do it, right? Here's how we manage our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're all looking at it very differently. And it's looking at it, with kindness and with grace and saying, hey, we're all doing the best we can do. I mean, I've seen a lot of kindness. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I've seen a lot of kindness and a lot of people being polite.
I've seen a little bit of both. I've seen kindness and I've seen frustration, and personally in me, as I've explained already, my anxiety makes me want to be not kind to people. I feel like I'm a nice guy, but I've been pushed. I think this thing has pushed me to where, I get a little frustrated a little quickly, and people that do know me close, know that I can go there. So that, we're getting ready, we're going to be going back to work next week, or some folks are going back to work next week. And, we've been isolated for quite a while now. And I think we've gotten a little weird, maybe, not having as much social interaction or we've gotten, lazy maybe, or we've gotten, I don't know, we've just got anxieties about leaving the house and going out in the real world and being around people every single day. How I guess it's the same, and we've just got to, put in some extra kindness. We also have to, I guess, back up and just think about how other people feel before we explode, because that's what I want to do all the time. But, going back to work, how do we take this? How do we get out of these bubbles of where we haven't been around folks and we haven't been social to social interact, but, also keep that in mind that the person we may be, our coworker that we're interacting with may be on a completely different spectrum of their fear or their feelings about this pandemic.
Well, you guys know that I'm direct and I'm to the point, and I like to acknowledge the elephant in the room and move on. So for me, I think we acknowledge, hey, this is weird. Because what if you are sharing a workspace with somebody else that, you've had a relationship with, but we don't know how they are and how they're doing? Because our natural inclination, Tess, we're huggers, right?
Yeah, we are.
So our natural inclination would be to go give them a hug. We can't give them a hug in this pandemic.
No.
Right? So I think it's like, gosh, this is so weird. I'm so glad to see you, but how do we handle this? Like, what works for you? Because you may want to wear a mask. They may not want to wear a mask. They may want their 6 feet. You may say, I want my 4 feet. But I think we acknowledge the elephant in the room and just communicate.
Yeah.
How are you doing? How can I make you more comfortable? Or, hey, I'm nervous about this too. Because we don't know how someone else is doing. So again, it's that basic communication when we can. Now, obviously, if it's somebody we don't know, I would just keep my social distance protocols and say hello. But I think it's going to be more awkward for those that we have a relationship with when we work with them.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I agree.
It's just that I'm always let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room and move on.
And I guess you could, apply that same practice even to, for instance, if your business has, sales and folks come in to sell, or, visitors in general, whether that's the UPS guy or the FedEx guy or whoever. I mean, most businesses have people that come out. I mean, I guess you could, apply the same practice of elephant in the room is, this is my comfort level. What is yours? And, you could figure that out as you go.
Absolutely. And then part of it is I think we can almost read some body language and read, how they're geared up. Because Tess, you were talking about people that want to, have armbands on and be completely suited up.
Yes.
When those walk in,
saran wrap.
It's like we have surgeons everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like to say never assume anything because you know what happens when we assume. But I am going to tell you, if they come in full gear, I think it's pretty safe there to assume they're immunocompromised, or we probably need to practice social distancing at its best.
Right. That's so true. And
some of it we'll be able to tell.
Some of it will be blatantly obvious.
I think it's blatantly obvious now when we're at Kroger or Walmart, because you see people that are suited up and you see those that are just kind of walking around, no mask, living their best life. Yeah,
that's Tess and I. We own masks. We have really not applied them.
Oh,
that's me. That's me. I'll be honest. I'm guilty.
Yeah, guilty.
I'm guilty.
I should. Absolutely.
No, I try to get in and out, but I forget the mask.
That's probably my whole thing, why I'm holding my breath and why I'm nearly passing out in the grocery store, turning blue.
Absolutely. But I think we just acknowledge that it's weird.
Yeah.
And acknowledge, I think we can almost assume everybody's got a little anxiety about it. After we've been home, gotten into our groove of being home, we're going back to work. Work schedules are changing. That's another thing is, people's work schedules are changing every day. Policies are changing, how we work. So again, there's all of this change, and we've got to roll with it and be flexible, but still acknowledge how weird it is.
Yeah, that word you just said, that just resonated with me, and that's, flexibility. I like structure. I like boom, boom, boom. 2 comes after 1 and 3 comes after 2 and so on and so forth. And so definitely in a work environment, it can be tough for some folks,
especially those type A's, Jason Martin,
to be flexible and to go, hey, this, because I'm sitting here going, well, this is what makes sense to me, and this is, the way that I see it, and why can't you see it the same way? Why do we have to have this other policy because the federal government or this, the local state authorities said that we have to have this? Well, I think if you're 6 foot away from me and you're not coughing and going through those things, I don't need a face mask to protect me from you, and you don't need a face mask to protect me from me. That's my feelings. So, being flexible and the daily changes when we go back to work, I think is, it's certainly what we're going to have to do, or it's going to drive us absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's going to be harder for some of us than others. I mean, I do. Mm-hmm. Because this is not black and white. This is gray.
It really is. You're right about that.
I mean, if it was black and white, it would be a whole lot easier than all this gray area.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many different work environments too. I mean, your work environment and my work environment are two totally different things. Like Absolutely. I have to be in close proximity with people. Like when I go back to work, like I'm absolutely going to have to wear a mask and, with my
you're in a 12-foot room and
working on another person.
Touching someone.
Yeah. Touching someone else. And, and I freaking hate wearing a mask. Now, one of my employees, like she's like, that's like her safety blanket, I think, like her comfort. I'm wearing a mask and I'm wearing gloves and I'm totally, like I'm doing the right thing, which I mean, it is the right thing in that close proximity, but I mean, I feel like enjoys it. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right. I have no foot traffic. And so people can come into my office. You can sit across from me on the couch and we are, 6 feet or more away. Mm-hmm. And so, but you're right in their, you're in their lashes. You're right in their business.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's going to increase anxiety for people depending on what they do and your work environment and your schedule.
Mm-hmm. And Lord help, we've got allergies too. Like, oh no.
Right.
What if I sneeze?
Right. It's just my allergies. I don't have corona.
I promise.
Right. I just think there's so much gray. Uh-huh. And I wish there was some black and white in the world right now. And I wish Jason Martin could put the policies in place for us, because I know it would be fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a lot of trust from you. I don't have that trust in me, but I can make, some sound decisions, I think, pretty quickly. Don't inject, cleaner. I'll,
don't do that.
That's kind of a no-brainer.
Oh, don't get me started on that, guys.
Oh,
don't get me started on that. Please.
What a hot mess. I just think
flexibility, and I mean, we've talked about this during all of Corona, right? With taking care of kids, trying to work from home. We've talked about flexibility and grace and kindness this whole time, and I think we still take that out into the world.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. That's solid advice. And
acknowledge the elephant in the room and the weirdness and move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, communication goes a long way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jason and I are super lucky that we are stuck in this together. And that you like each other. Yeah, it's true. And and you and your family, but there are, like, I've noticed a lot of our single friends are kind of going a little stir crazy, and they're isolated and they're becoming more and more depressed lately.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
What can we do to help them when they seem to just be, we try to help.
More importantly, what can they do to help themselves?
And that's true, but it's like, when they're all gloom and doom.
Well, first of all, recognize that. Reach out. We can reach out. They can reach out. We've got technology, guys. We can Zoom. We can FaceTime. We can, drop things off on the front porch, right? Mm-hmm. I've got people that social distance in the driveway, and I know that may be controversial, but, there are some people that social distance in the driveway with appropriate feet apart just to have some human interaction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I think there are things that we can absolutely do like that. Get out of the house. Because even if you get out of the house and go for a walk, you've seen another human.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said for just that human interaction, even if it's a smile from the neighbor or a hello. I've just seen my neighbors out walking and we're out walking. And so, just human connection, because I think when we're isolated and we're in the house and we're in a funk, we feel alone, like we're the only one in it. I know I've been there.
Yeah, I think that another thing is, I think there's that fine line of, a lot of the singles, either they're out a lot and they're like going everywhere trying to stay social and do those things, or they are just hunkering down and just, the world's going to end and they're not going out at all. And I think there's definitely there's some medium ground there, or a middle road where, you do get out and about. Maybe it is a walk. Maybe it is something, healthy. It is getting out, but it's just, even if it's not people that you're just seeing other people, and I think that is, for me, that's a big deal. I know we went for a walk the other day on one of our favorite trails, and back before the coronation, you could go out there and walk this trail to about 3.5 miles, one end to the other, or down and back. And when you walk this trail, I mean, during non-coronation time, you could go out there, maybe see 2, maybe see 3 other people the entire time. Now you walk it since coronation, it's like it's a park. I mean, there are people everywhere with blankets and lawn chairs,
and there was hammocks and
I mean, it is, you see, you'll see easily down and back at any given time. It doesn't matter really when or where you go since the coronation. I mean, we see probably close to 100 people. Some are in big groups, some are singles, some are in pairs. Lots of dogs, lots of activity on the trail. But, even if I were single and at home, just getting out, getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, and just visually seeing other people being out and about doing things would make me feel better.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we as humans are made to be social. So this is hard. And I think that being single, has its challenges anyway, right? I mean, we all have our challenges, but I think this has made it harder. So Jason, Tess, I totally agree with you about just getting out, getting a walk, seeing another human.
I mean, technology's nice. FaceTime and Zoom and all of these things we've got. I mean, they're certainly nice, and it's, something that there's no time that we've ever had in history where we can actually touch people, at least visually, as much as we've ever been to. But it's still so different to be on a Zoom call or a Facebook Live or Messenger group or whatever technology you're using versus actually getting out and seeing people and observing them with your own eyes without seeing them through a screen.
I agree. I miss that human interaction. I mean, I love my family, but I look forward to more human interaction, face to face with people again. Me too. Killing the extroverts, right, Tess?
Oh, I know. I didn't know how much of an extrovert I was until this. Like, I mean, I kind of felt like I was a little more on the introverted side. No, I'm not. I'm not at all.
And my husband loves it. He loves being at home. He's like, he's like, I'm made for this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm like,
he's not an introvert really. He's a huge extrovert, or he appears that way when you meet him and out with people. I mean, Sean's not scared to talk to anybody about anything at any time.
He's not, but he works out of the house unless he travels, and so he's always got whatever show he's watching in the background as well. So this is not terrible for him. I go to the office. I see people all the time. I run, we run to kids' activities. I meet girlfriends. We meet other couples out. So this is a huge adjustment. This has been a huge adjustment for me. Huge.
Yeah, it has for us too. Really. Oh,
absolutely. I look forward to going to concerts again, guys. Going out to eat.
I know, and they're pushed. So many of the concerts are being pushed back to 2021 already.
I know.
They are.
I know. And I mean, restaurants are opening up. We don't know what that's going to look like. I think that's going to bring a whole other level of anxiety as well.
Well, and at the national level, I mean, they're talking about already, going back and opening some schools before, and I think if you look at how some other countries have taken this on versus how the U.S. has taken it on. I mean, it's really tough to get the economy going back up to send your, adults off to work if the kids are at home. especially if you've got elementary age children or, less even toddlers that you can't take to childcare. That really makes it tough for you to start an economy if your workforce nobody can take care of your children.
Absolutely. I don't know that I want to send mine back the rest of the school year. We're in our groove. I'd like to get through the summer, but obviously if the school opens back up, we'll revisit it. But I think we're out for the rest of the school year.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the right call. You look at the statistics of how it affects children 16 and under, and it does affect some. There's infants that have died from this. There are plenty of toddlers, elementary, junior high, high schoolers, college age on and up. It's affected really everybody of all age groups, but they're less affected by it. Now they can bring it home, obviously, if they get infected and bring it in, but I don't know. It's if you're looking at this from the numbers standpoint, we kind of talked about the difference in men and women. It's really tough to fire an economy back up if you're supposed to go back to work and you don't have, an ability to have your kids taken care of, because of their ages or wherever that might be. Certainly makes it much more difficult and puts that's another one of those things with just kindness and flexibility, because it certainly puts a lot of stress on people that have kids that, people that don't have kids don't understand.
Right. I think if you as an employer, if you want your employees to be loyal and you give this kindness and flexibility, you will see loyalty and hard work. Especially during this time when people have children. I think that's going to be the make or break for employers.
I think you're right. And it's we all have to the hashtag we're all in this together. We are. And, some people maybe who don't have kids or whatever may have to go back sooner than those who do. Who knows what it all looks like. But, we've all got to pitch in where we can.
Again, I think that we don't know how it's going to shake out. But I do know that flexibility and grace are going to be the key.
Solid advice, Jenny.
Thank you.
Just be nice and be flexible.
Yeah. Don't be an a-hole.
I can't.
I agree.
So you're telling me I need to be somebody different. Y'all are telling me, hey, change.
We love you just the way you are.
Yeah, we do.
I think we have to hashtag be well.
It's true. Oh my gosh. Jenny, you are online. People can find you online at jennycaldwell.net, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being on our show.
If any of these listeners need some therapy, you're still available.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Telehealth, taking new characters daily.
Yes.
Every day.
Characters like me.
You'll help the a-holes of the world.
I'll help. Yes.
I have to be a little softer. I am told.
Hey.
By multiple people, not may or may not have been a judge.
Hey, we love you just the way you are. Be yourself.
All right.
We do.
Thanks. Jenny, thank you for being with us.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk to you later, girl.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, guys, that was Jenny Caldwell, and she is the therapist to stars.
Yeah, she is.
She can fix what is wrong with you. She can change your perspective.
She can.
Bring down some anxiety that you might be having. I don't necessarily need to go Tanya Carrickton right now or whatever.
Whoever.
Yeah,
whichever.
whatever her name was.
Yeah.
It was a hummingbird.
Oh.
Right there, just buzzing around.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
It's that time of year.
It is that time of year.
Observing nature. Look at you.
Hummingbirds are out. They're coming. It's pretty cool. Don't see a lot of them around here.
Oh,
we have to change that. So is there something that you want to hear? Is there something that you want us to talk about on Small Talk Arkansas? Would you like to be a guest? Have you got a business or a story that might be inspirational, motivational, something that we can share with our audience? If you'd like to be on, we'd love to hear from you. Send us a comment on the YouTube channel. Send us a message. Let us know. We follow up with everybody within 24 hours.
We do. Our people will get in touch with your people.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, we will.
Us.
Yeah, it's the two of us. We'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being with us today, as always, and we bring you a new show every day at 4 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm. You should subscribe to our channel and like and comment and share with your friends. Those are all the things that you need to do.
Yeah, help us out. If you watch this on your phone, if you watch this on your television, whatever, you listen, let it go in your background, and this show goes off and you didn't hit the like button, please go back and like the video.
Just go back. Just
subscribe to the channel.
It's so easy.
If you just click to this from Facebook and watch this video or Instagram or Twitter or all the places, if you just watch this somewhere else, subscribe to the channel. Help us out. It would help us out a lot in getting in front of a larger audience if you hit that subscribe button. It helps the Google algorithm. The Google gods will look upon us
and smile.
Famously.
They will. They will. Remember, y'all, stay safe, wash your hands, and call your therapist.
Call your therapist.
Do it.
Therapy Thursday again back here. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode.
Thanks for shooting the shit with us, y'all.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.